Broadcasting live from the Meridics via OBS Studio Broadcast Center at Fordyce Center in Bellevue. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network as we say welcome to the final week of GNASH hockey play in the calendar year of 2022. And today, our one game this evening, we are featuring Mount Juliet-Green Hill-Lebanon taking on Montgomery Bell here on Rink 2. These two teams played almost 30 days ago, 26 days ago. Over on Rink A at Centennial, MBA won 2-0, but Mount Juliet are going to be missing two key members due to suspension tonight. So it's up to the rest of the team to try and get revenge against the Big Red for that loss last month. So we'll see if MBA or if Mount Juliet can keep up with this MBA squad, who are fresh off of a 3-3 tie against Rutherford back at Wednesday night. Mount Juliet have begun Phase 3 with one win over Pope Prep, and then they lost on Wednesday night to Father Ryan. Let's go over the scores from last week. Last Monday, Summit Page and Nolensville Ensworth Lipscomb finished in a 5-5 tie. Ravenwood beat Father Ryan 3-2. Brentwood beat Franklin BGA 6-0. Tennessee Outlaws beat Independence 7-3. Brentwood beat Station Camp Liberty Creek 9-1. USNBA Nashville Christian beat Hendersonville Beach 6-2. And Mount Juliet-Green Hill-Lebanon beat Pope Prep CPA GCA 3-2. On Wednesday, Rutherford Rampage and Montgomery Bell finished in a 3-3 tie. Father Ryan beat Mount Juliet-Green Hill-Lebanon 4-2. Brentwood beat Pope Prep CPA GCA 3-0. And Hendersonville Beach beat Summit Page 6-3. So, here are the Phase 3 standings. First up, Tier 1, Brentwood leading at 2-0. Ravenwood at 1-0. Father Ryan and Mount Juliet both 1-1. MBA and Rutherford both 0-1. Franklin BGA 0-1. Pope Prep CPA GCA 0-2. Tier 2, Centennial, USN, and the Outlaws all 1-0. Hendersonville 1-1. Nolensville 0-1. Summit Page 0-1. Independence and Station Camp Liberty Creek both 0-1. And the GNASH Cup standings, again for the 6 teams that did not have to do the Phase 2 round robin, combining their records from Phase 1 and this phase. Brentwood leading the GNASH Cup standings at 7-1-1. Ravenwood at 7-1. Montgomery Bell 6-1-1. Pope Prep CPA GCA 4-4-1. Mount Juliet Green Hill-Lebanon 3-5-1. Franklin BGA 1-5-2. The schedule for tonight, coming up in just a few minutes here on Rink 2 at Bellevue. Mount Juliet Green Hill-Lebanon taking on MBA. 5:15 on Rink B at Centennial. Indy taking on Centennial. I think that game's happening just a little bit too early in Phase 3, especially because it's very likely going to be one of those two teams that will be the 1 seed for the Henry Hine Cup when playoffs come around. 6:35 here on Rink 2 in Bellevue. USNBA Nashville Christian taking on Summit Page. 6:45 on Rink B at Centennial. Pope Prep CPA GCA taking on Rutherford. Rutherford, don't be surprised if they beat Pope. 7:40 on Rink A at Centennial. Franklin BGA taking on Father Ryan. If Franklin don't win this game, if they lose or it ends in a tie, that's Franklin out of GNASH Cup contention. In fact, by the end of this week, the remaining field of contenders for the GNASH Cup could be down to 3. But Mount Juliet and Pope Prep will still be in it after tonight. They both could be out of it after Wednesday. We'll explain more after this game is over. 8:10 here on Rink 2 in Bellevue. Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on the Tennessee Outlaws. And then at 8:15 on Rink B at Centennial, Nolensville, Ensworth Lipscomb taking on Hendersonville Beach. So Brentwood have the night off, and so do Ravenwood. Brentwood and Ravenwood not playing tonight. All right, so let's talk about the two teams playing this game this evening. First up, Mount Juliet Green Hill-Lebanon, coached by Ray Balls. They are 1-1 so far in Phase 3, 4-4-1 when it comes to the GNASH Cup standings. As we look over the results of their last 5 games coming into tonight. Their last 5 games dating back to Halloween when they beat Independence 6-1 to secure their place in Tier 1 for the rest of the season and qualify for the Predators Cup. Then they lost their last 2 games in Phase 1, 4-2 to Ravenwood on November the 7th and 2-0 to MBA on November the 9th. And their first 2 games in Phase 1 have been a mixed bag. A 3-2 win over Pope Prep CPA GCA last Monday, and then a 4-2 win over 4-2 loss to Father Ryan last Wednesday. So here are their player stats so far coming into tonight. Jordan Antar has 10 points from 8 goals and 2 assists. Braylon Cox has 10 points from 6 goals and 4 assists. Blake Bristow has 6 points from 3 goals and 3 assists. Wes Ray has 6 points from 2 goals and 4 assists. Ryan Woods 5 points from 3 goals and 2 assists. Anthony Giampalo with 5 points from 2 goals and 3 assists. Kyle Alsaker 3 points, all from goals. Parker Triplett, Tyler Dubois, each with 3 points from a goal and 2 assists. Cullen McDermott 2 points from goals. Neil and Head a point from a goal. Bobby Camos and Presley Denton each with a point from an assist. On to goalie play. Robbie Simonik has played in 5 games. Mount Juliet have lost them all, so his record's 0-5. He's played 209 minutes, goals against average of 2.81. No shutouts, obviously, because he's lost all his games. He's allowed 14 goals and 150 shots and turned away the other 136. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .910. Korbin Vickrey has played in 3 games. His record 2-0-1. He's played just over 106.5 minutes. Goals against average of 2.36. No shutouts. He's allowed 6 goals and 55 shots, turned away the other 49. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .890. And Brant Balls has played in 2 games. His record 0-1. The other was that game against Franklin back in October. He was pulled after giving up 6 goals, and it was Robbie Simonik in net. No, sorry, it was Korbin Vickrey in net when Mount Juliet scored the game-tying goal that caused it to end in an 8-8 final. So Vickrey would get the tie in that situation. Brant Balls has played just over 61 minutes, goals against average of 6.86. No shutouts, obviously, because he's 0-1. He's allowed 10 goals and 51 shots, turned away the other 41. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .800. Again, Mount Juliet missing 2 key members tonight. Blake Bristow is serving the second of a 2-game suspension that he got last Monday against Pope Prep. He got 1 game for getting a major on a game misconduct for butt ending. He got 1 game for abuse of an official, and he got 1 game for having 4 or more penalties in the game. And then on Wednesday night, Kyle Alsaker got into a fight with Father Ryan's Alton Worth. Alsaker serving the first of a 3-game suspension, 1 for fighting, 1 for abuse of an official, and 1 for having 4 or more penalties in a game. Alsaker has only played 3 games so far. When he comes back, his first game back from suspension will be January the 11th against Brentwood. That is the next to last game of the regular season for Mount Juliet. He has to behave himself because if he does something in that game to get suspended for the season finale against Franklin on January 5th, that means he'll have only played 4 regular season games, 1 shy of the minimum required to play in the postseason, and they won't let him play in the postseason if he's only played in 4 games for disciplinary reasons. On to Montgomery Bell, coached by J.P. Dumont. They are 0-1 coming into Phase 3 and 6-1-1 overall Cup standings. Let's look at their last 5 results of their last 5 games. Dating back to October 26th when they beat Centennial 7-1. They beat Brentwood 5-2 on November 7th. Beat Mount Juliet 2-0 on November 9th, and then ended Phase 1 with a 4-1 loss to Ravenwood on November 14th. And then last Wednesday opened Phase 3 with a 3-3 tie with Rutherford. Here are their player stats coming into tonight. Lee Guy is the team's leading scorer. He has 21 points from 15 goals and 6 assists. Cooper Green, 16 points from 6 goals and 10 assists. Matt Moore, 10 points from 4 goals and 6 assists. Trace Graham, 6 points, all from assists. Trey Wick, 5 points from 4 goals and an assist. Cam Kinzer, 5 points, all from assists. Ed Herlitzka, 3 points, all from assists. Alex Dubé and Emmett Castile, each with 2 points from a goal and an assist. Lucas Tarquin, a point from a goal, and Michael DeTillo, a point from an assist. And on to goalie play. NBA have used 1 goalie this entire regular season so far. Hunter Wick, he's played in all 8 of their games, so his record matches the team, 6-1-1. He's played 336 minutes, the maximum. Well, he's played every minute for NBA this season. Goals against average of 2 even, 1 shutout. He's allowed 16 goals on 179 shots and turned away the other 163. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .910. But it looks like they're going to use their backup tonight. NBA. Korbin Vickrey is going to start in goal. For Mount Juliet. This first period, Montgomery Bell will carry the puck towards me. NBA or Mount Juliet will carry it away from me as the game is underway. So it's Aiden Becker, the sophomore, making his first appearance of the season in goal for NBA. As Cooper Green dumps the puck in the Mount Juliet zone. It's out on the right wing boards. With it now for Mount Juliet is Easton Krantz. Wait a minute. Is somebody wearing his sweater as Cooper Green takes a shot and then misses the net? Here's Lee Guy trying to come out in front. It's poked away from him. Puck held in at the left point. Now Cooper Green passing down to Guy, who drops it back behind the net. Now Matt Moore passing up to the left point. Across to the right point. And Cooper Green, a shot stopped and held onto by Korbin Vickrey. And that's the first stoppage of play after 59 seconds. Is Easton Krantz back? Or is somebody just wearing his sweater because they forgot theirs? Because Easton Krantz initially elected to forego his senior year to focus on baseball because he is considered one of the best outfielders in the state of Tennessee. He has very high college prospects. As off the draw, the puck went out of the zone, just out of the zone, and NBA brought it back in, so offside called against the Big Red. If Krensky is returned, he is back in the nick of time because this is Mount Juliet's 5th to last game of the regular season. He has to play in 5, like I mentioned, to be eligible for the playoffs. A minimum of 5. Because Mount Juliet are playing 4 of their 7 Phase 3 games during this 2-week period. They've already played 2. Here's a shot stopped and held onto by Vickrey. That shot coming from Evan Smith. Yeah, Mount Juliet and Hendersonville with a busy 2 weeks. They're both playing their 3rd game of Phase 3 tonight, and they're both going to play their 4th game on Wednesday. Mount Juliet taking on Ravenwood. Draws to the right of Vickrey. Won by NBA. Puck now behind the Mount Juliet net. And it's cleared out by Tyler Dubois. And now the puck brought into the NBA zone by Parker Triplett, but he's forced off it as it comes down low. And the Big Red have the puck, and they're going to bring it out. Lee Guy, right wing side of the Mount Juliet zone behind the net, tried to put it in front, intercepted by Dubois. Dubois banking it off the near boards, the bench side boards. Alex Alsaker, Kyle's younger brother, clearing it out. Again, Kyle Alsaker serving the first of a 3-game suspension. Here's Cooper Green back in the Mount Juliet zone, sending it around the boards. Kyle Alsaker serving the first of a 3-game suspension tonight for getting into a fight with Father Ryan's Alton Worth on Wednesday. Here's Lee Guy, bottom of the left circle, a shot turned away by Vickrey. Cooper Green sending it towards the net, and it misses just to the left of Vickrey. And Ryan Woods and Caleb Kirkland both went for the puck, touched it, and it went out of play. And they're going to say that's on Kirkland to drop the puck in front of the Mount Juliet bench at center. Bears win it, but it's quickly taken by the Big Red. Puck in the Mount Juliet zone, but controlled by, I'm going to say it's Krensky for now. I'm going to have to check the score sheet during the break. He passes over to Wes Ray, who dumps it in the NBA zone. Now the puck sent around to the far side. Herlitzka able to clear. Ryan Woods reached out for it, so that's why icing's waved off as it goes all the way back into the Mount Juliet zone. Woods going to carry it out to center on the bleachers side of the ice, but he lost the puck. Here's Kirkland. Kirkland sending it into the Mount Juliet zone. Krensky. Krensky dumping it into the NBA end. Here's Braylon Cox wearing the red pants instead of black, his red Nashville Spartans pants. Losing the puck, and a shot from Matt Moore hits the left thigh of Ryan Woods and goes into the netting above the glass inside the Mount Juliet zone. 9:54 to go in the first. No goals on the board. NBA have all the shots on goal, 4-0. They lead in that department. Draw was to the left of Vickrey. It comes out to the front of the net, and he's got it covered with Moore on him. And Trace Graham joining in as well. Draw's going to be to Vickrey's left. Won by Mount Juliet, but given away. Trace Graham passing below the goal line. Moore right in front. Trace Graham, a shot. Was it blocked or was it stopped by Vickrey? I'm not sure. Puck coming around to the far side. Jackson Blevins for Mount Juliet. Trying to pass it up the wall. He manages to clear it out. Braylon Cox chasing after it inside the NBA zone as it's sent around the boards to the near side. Bobby Camos passing it back off to Cox, and then Cox loses it. Having the stick knocked out of his hand as he carried the puck out was Matt Moore, and he's kicking it into the Mount Juliet zone before it's taken by Krensky and brought out. Krensky now right wing side of the NBA zone. Trying to pass up top, intercepted. Lee Guy chasing it into the Mount Juliet zone down the slot. In front of backhander. Oh, Vickrey forced him to the outside. Now here's Trace Graham putting it in front. Lee Guy, a shot off the left leg pad of Vickrey. Korbin Vickrey with two tremendous saves on Lee Guy. The guy who is NBA's leading scorer so far in this regular season. Now Juliet making some changes. Here comes Guy again. His shot blocked by Krensky. Now here's Wes Ray shooting it wide of the NBA net as he goes into the zone. Now here comes Cooper Green with a shot that's off the right leg pad of Vickrey. Krensky now. Ooh, almost got hooked by Trey Wick, who looked back to the official to see if he had his hand in the air. He did not. It was close. It was close to a hook. I think it was on the borderline as Ryan Woods fires the puck over the NBA net into the netting above the glass. 7:46 to go in the first, and still zip. Draw on the dot across from the NBA bench. Braylon Cox has the puck taken away down low in the NBA zone. Now Carson Slocum bringing the puck back into the NBA zone. Now Ryan Woods inside his own zone on the near side. Try to pass ahead to Slocum. That was broken up. Lee Guy's going to bring it back into the Mount Juliet zone. Take a shot. Blocked by the skates of Tyler Dubois. And Herlitzka trying to send it to the front of the net. That's intercepted by Dubois and carried out. Dubois into the NBA zone. Lost the puck. Here comes Lee Guy again. Back in the Mount Juliet zone. He's double teamed. Lost the puck. Looks at the official to see if either of them have his hand in the air because he thought he was fouled. They just played him tight. Krensky now loses the puck. Wes Ray in the NBA zone with it, shot off the glove of Aiden Becker. So Aiden Becker makes his first save of the season. Again, this is his first appearance of the season. And he makes his first save on the first shot he faces. Well, he's faced a couple of shots. They both missed the net. That one he actually had to stop. Here's Matt Moore in the Mount Juliet zone, shooting it past the net to the left of Vickrey. Puck out at center. Now Wes Ray back in the NBA zone, left wing side, a shot. Missed the net. Or did Becker get a piece of it? Thought I heard sticks thumping on the boards. Must have missed the net. Here's Ray again back in the NBA zone, but getting bumped off the puck on a shoulder check by Brandon Fremgen. Woods. Diagonal cross-ice forward pass to Jackson Blevins, who deflects it back into the NBA zone as Mount Juliet makes some line changes. Here's Cooper Green. Green back in the Mount Juliet zone, right wing side. A shot turned away by Vickrey at his left-hand post. Ryan Woods trying to bank the puck off the glass and out. And we got a slashing call coming up. Alex Alsaker, I think, took a slash. No, it's going to be Braylon Cox who's going to go to the box. I saw a stick coming out of a hand. I think Braylon Cox knocked it out of Caleb Kirkland's hands. So that's why he's being whistled for slashing. So NBA getting the first power play of the game. No goals on the board just yet. 5:02 to go in the first. Draw is going to be to the right of Korbin Vickrey. Draw one by NBA. Oh, they tried to pass out to Michael Datillo at the blue line, and it was not only too fast, it was too far. So it goes all the way back into the NBA zone. Cooper Green with it now. Matt Moore with a puck inside the NBA zone. Oh, and Michael Datillo whiffs on a pass attempt, trying to pass it up ice. So he passes back to Moore, and now Moore passes ahead to Lee Guy, who deflects it into the Mount Juliet zone. Tyler Dubois trying to clear it out. Knocked down twice by Cam Kinzer. Carson Slocum can't get it out. And now here's Matt Moore, top of the right circle. A shot stopped by Vickrey. Rebound, Lee Guy can't get his stick on it. It's out in front of the net. Now it's going over to the far boards. And Dubois tried to clear, knocked down on the blue line by Cooper Green. Passed over to the right half wall, and Matt Moore put it in front, but Cam Kinzer was tied up with Ryan Woods, and Parker Triplett's going to fire it to the other end of the rink. 45 seconds left of the man advantage now for the Big Red. Cooper Green standing behind his own net. Brings it out to center in the Mount Juliet zone. 30 seconds left of the power play. Green almost got it back from Cam Kinzer. Now Green with it. Sending it in front off Vickrey, and Green fell over in front, or Kinzer fell over in front and tried to shoot it anyway. He ended up sending it past the net as Mount Juliet get the puck out. Mount Juliet with a shallow bench. Good Lord. I just looked over and saw their bench is really shallow. Puck sent on goal from center on the NBA net. Aiden Becker has to turn it away. Mount Juliet have, I think, 6 skaters in the bench plus one goalie. That's Brant Balls. Trace Graham back in the NBA. Mount Juliet's zone, passing it up to the left point. Comes back down to Graham. Tries to go across to Alex Dubé. Broken up by Tyler Dubois. Dubé now with the puck again. Past the slot. One-timer off the left leg pad of Vickrey. That shot coming from Trace Graham. Puck cleared out by Tyler Dubois. Sent back into the Mount Juliet zone by Brandon Fremgen. Yeah, Mount Juliet have 6 skaters on their bench, plus Brant Balls as a backup goalie. Good Lord. Easton Krinsky fires the puck back into the NBA zone. He crossed the red line in order to do it so he could go to the bench for a change. Brandon Fremgen inside his own zone, passing over to Trace Graham. Graham through center, back into the Mount Juliet end of the right wing side. Drops it back, and Caleb Kirkland tried to pass to the slot and Trey Wick, but that was broken up. Puck on the left wing boards now. Now in the left wing corner, Krinsky with it. Krinsky stumbling a bit, but he gives it away. And here's a shot in the slot, blocked, rebound, score! It's Trey Wick. From the slot, he fires it off the inside of the right-hand post into the back of the net. And the Big Red finally beat Vickrey and go up 1-0 with 98 seconds to go in the first. Puck dumped back into the Mount Juliet zone off the draw. Ryan Woods. Passing ahead to Wes Ray. Now Carson Slocum. Left wing side of the NBA zone. Chips it to the end boards. Puck behind the net. Here's Cooper Green. Passing ahead, Lee Guy in the Mount Juliet zone, and the puck poked off his stick right when he got to the blue line, though. Puck fired into the Mount Juliet zone from center. Here's Ryan Woods going to carry it out for the Bears. Final minute of the first. Woods, right wing side of the NBA zone. Pass across, score, Wes Ray! A breakdown by NBA, allowing Ray to go to the front of the net. And Aiden Becker gives up a goal for the first time in GNASH. And it's 1-1 with 51.9 seconds to go in the first. Mount Juliet scoring on just their second shot on goal of the game. Puck back in the NBA zone. And Herlitzka sending it around to the near side, but kept alive. Now it's whipped around to the far side as NBA try and get it out. They do. Tyler Dubois dumping it back in the NBA zone with under 30 seconds left in the first. Now the Big Red with it at center. Matt Moore, left wing side of the Mount Juliet zone, gives the puck away. Wes Ray. And the puck taken away from him. Now it is back inside the NBA zone, and that is it for the first period. 2 goals scored, both of them late. Trey Wick scoring with 98 seconds to go in the period, and then just over 45 seconds later, Wes Ray tying things up for Mount Juliet. So Mount Juliet and NBA tied at 1 at the end of 1. Second period underway, and yes, that is indeed Easton Krensky back for Mount Juliet as the puck is in the NBA zone. Anthony Giampalo chasing the puck to the inboards. Now in the right wing corner, Braylon Cox behind the net. Put it out in front, a shot stopped by Aiden Becker, and he's got it covered. Carson Slocum with both those shots. And Carson Slocum and Brandon Frimgen got into a tussle after the whistle, so they're both going to be sent to the box. So coincidentals. Draw was to the right of Aiden Becker, who is playing in goal for NBA tonight instead of Hunter Wick, getting his first start of the season. Shots on goal favor the Big Red 13-3, but the scoreboard says 1-1 in the goals department. Here's Alex Dubé. Right wing side of the Mount Juliet zone, his shot blocked. Here's Michael Datillo now left point, sending it towards the front of the net. It went past the net. Korbin Vickrey in goal for Mount Juliet. Braylon Cox now bringing the puck through center. Back in the NBA zone on the right wing side. With a backhanded shot from the bottom of the right circle that's gloved and held onto by Becker. 12:37 to go in the second. Still 1-1. So Easton Krensky was given a draw to the left of Becker. I think I'm going to have to hold here with a draw in the zone. NBA win it and clear. Ed Herlitzka going to end up icing the puck. Easton Krensky was given a 2-game suspension to start the year because in the Preds Cup final, if necessary, game against Ravenwood, he speared an opponent. That's what he got a 2-game suspension for. Initially, he decided, draw to the left of Becker, to forego his senior year to again focus on baseball because he's considered one of the top outfielders in the state in high school baseball in Tennessee. At the blue line, Krensky, a shot, stopped. Oh, it was blocked in front. And the rebound knocked away from Parker Triplett with both sides of the net open. Puck cleared out. Initially, because Krensky wasn't going to play, Mount Juliet paid the $200 fine, $100 per game for an unserved suspension. There's a shot at the other end, turned away by Korbin Vickrey. And here's a long shot from center off of Aiden Becker into the netting above the glass. That shot coming from Krensky. But when Krensky decided to come back, GNASH, I guess, refunded the $200 back to Mount Juliet because now the suspension page, instead of saying the fine has been paid, he served his 2-game suspension last week. The games against Pope and Father Ryan. So, very interesting. Because normally, here's Braylon Cox putting the puck out in front. Oh, and Tyler Dubois couldn't get a stick on it. That was broken up by Cooper Green. Normally, you only see a fine paid for an unserved suspension when it's a senior who's graduated and they still have games left on the suspension to serve. Puck brought back into the Mount Juliet zone. A shot turned away by Vickrey. That shot coming from freshman Ethan Sides. And now the puck back in the NBA zone. Picked up by Cam Kinzer. But yeah, Easton Krensky decided to forego his senior year. They paid the $200 fine. Then he decided to come back. They got a $200 refund. He served his 2 games. That's the first time I have ever seen that in GNASH. In all my years of covering GNASH, I've never seen that before. Cooper Green with a shot that's turned away by Vickrey. The goals in this game from Hunter Wick and Trey Wick and Wes Ray. Here's Cooper Green back in the Mount Juliet zone on the left wing side. It's puck in front for Ethan Sides, or tried to. It was broken up. And now here's Jackson Blevins passing across. Ethan Sides, whiffs on a slapper attempt. Here's Bobby Camos out at center. Giving the puck away to Cooper Green. Green whiffing on a pass attempt. Trying to pass it up the boards. Now Lucas Tarquin taking it. It's taken back by Redland Cox, brought into the NBA zone, but he lost it. Herlitzka tried to clear, could not. Now Herlitzka clears it out from the left point. Tyler Dubois dumps it back in the NBA zone. Puck comes out to the right circle. Jackson Blevins knocked off the puck behind the net. Puck out in front. And it's going to be brought out to center by Tarquin. Tarquin. Offside. I think Lee Guy went over the blue line before Tarquin did. Lucas Tarquin scored his only goal of his GNASH career so far last month in the first meeting between these two teams. In fact, he scored the goal that made it 2-0, which ended up being the final score. Draw on the dot across from the NBA bench. Won by Mount Juliet. Given away, though, inside their zone. Lee Guy trying to pass it to the slot for Ethan Moore. Now the puck out at center. Now it's back in the NBA zone. Taken by Brandon Fremgen. Now the puck sent back in the NBA zone, but cleared out by Ed Herlitzka as he knocked over Parker Triplett. And we're going to have a penalty, I think, for that hit. Nope, it's offside. It was an offside against Mount Juliet, and they never heeded the warning. So puck's going to be dropped all the way in their zone to the left of Korbin Vickrey. 9:01 left in the second. Game tied at 1. Draws to Vickrey's left. Drawn by Mount Juliet. Carson Slocum sending the puck back into the NBA zone. In fact, he's icing it because he was right at his own blue line. Draws to the left of Vickrey again. Won by NBA. Cooper Green, right point, putting it in front. And a backhander from Lucas Tarquin misses the net to the right of Vickrey. Here's Carson Slocum. Hands Cox into the NBA zone on the right wing side. Below the goal line, around the back of the net. Passes up to the left point. Kretsky, one-timer, goes over the net. Ryan Woods. Shot that hit off the outside of the net. Brandon Fremgen trying to clear. He tried to pass ahead to Ethan Moore, kept alive at the right point or left point and sent back down low by Easton Krensky. And now a pass ahead to Cooper Green is tipped into the Mount Juliet zone by Lee Guy, but Guy was still behind the red line, so it's icing against the Big Red. 8:06 to go in the second, still 1-1. Draw going to be to Hayden Becker's right. One by Mount Juliet. Put out in front. Score! Bobby Camos. Wes Ray put the puck out in front for Camos. And he slides it into the bottom corner on the right-hand side of the net. And Mount Juliet take a 2-1 lead with 7:56 to go in the second. Puck back in the NBA zone. Picked up by Cam Kinzer. Banks it off the near boards and out. Here's Alex Dubé. Left wing side of the Mount Juliet zone. Now back the other way. Comes Jackson Blevins. A shot scored. Jackson Blevins. In behind everybody. Fires it into the top corner on the left-hand side of the net from the slot. And Mount Juliet take a 3-1 lead with 7:20 to go in the second. That's Jackson Blevins' first point of the season. What a turnaround for Mount Juliet in this second period. Or after giving up that first goal. NBA outshot them big time in the first. They gave up that first goal late to Trey Wick. Then they scored just over 45 seconds later. Now they've scored twice here in the second to go up 3-1. Here's Lee Guy into the Mount Juliet zone. Left wing side, a shot. Bounce past the net to the left of Korbin Vickrey. And in front again, Guy with a shot that misses the net. Puck held in at the right point. Cooper Green has shot and missed the net to the left of Vickrey. And now the puck taken back. Parker Triplett across to Cullen McDermott. McDermott shot hits the slot. Triplett tried to turn around and shoot, but Herlitzka and Trey Wick both jumped in there. Here's Braylon Cox with it now. Passing out to the blue line. Tyler Dubois. Top of the left circle. Slap shot turned away by Becker with a right leg pad. Cox again. Out to the blue line. Knocked down. Oh, but taken away and carried out by Lee Guy and then sent back into the Mount Juliet zone or NBA zone. We got a whistle though. And it's going to be a penalty against Braylon Cox for a slash. So NBA returned to the power play trailing 3-1 with 6:16 to go. Here in the second, Braylon Cox, he's now been sent to the box twice. He's going to have to be careful here. Draws to the left of Korbin Vickrey. Cooper Green passing over Trace Graham, moving down the left wing. A shot gloved and held onto by Vickrey. Drive of Vickrey. Here's a shot from Matt Moore in the slot, knocked down by Vickrey. Puck held into the left point, Cooper Green. Passed over to Trace Graham. Graham just outside the left circle. Passing across to Lee Guy. Guy back across to Graham, but Graham had to go off his skates into the left wing corner. Minute left in the power play for Mount Juliet. Cooper Green with a shot. Stopped by Vickrey, and he's got it covered. 55 seconds left in the power play for NBA. 5:11 to go in the second. Still 3-1 Mount Juliet. This score holds, this is really going to hurt NBA in the GNASH Cup race, although I don't think they're as good as Ravenwood. Draw to the right of Vickrey, won by the Big Red. Cooper Green left point, across to Guy, shot, missed the net. What a huge win this would be for Mount Juliet if they could win the game without two of their big guns. They still got a whole period left to play. Cooper Green out up top. We get a whistle though. We have another penalty. Why did the whistle blow? The penalty box door on the Mount Juliet, next to the Mount Juliet bench is open. And we got another penalty against the Bears here. So it's a 5-on-3 for MBA now. Did somebody at the bench say something? Because one of the officials blew his whistle and immediately went rushing over to the scorekeeper box. Alex Alsaker is going to serve the penalty. So 4:41 left in the second. NBA trailing 3-1. Now of a 5-on-3 for 26 seconds. It's the only thing I can think of. Somebody said something and the official didn't like it. NBA win the draw. Cooper Green left circle, passing down. Trace Graham his shot. I think it missed the net. Now here is Cooper Green, left point, moving along the blue line, taking a shot. Turned away by Vickrey. And the rebound cleared out by the Bears, so that is going to kill off the 5-on-3. Big Red now on the 5-on-4 for 95 seconds. Cooper Green taking a shot from the bottom of the left circle, stopped and covered up by Korbin Vickrey. So 85 seconds left in the 4-on-4, 4:05 to go in the second, 3-1 Mount Juliet. Draws to the right of Vickrey. Now Juliet clearing the puck out. Aiden Becker deflecting the puck to the end boards for Michael Datillo to pick up. Oh, but then he tried to drop it in the right wing corner for Brandon Fremgen. Braylon Cox got a hold of it for a second. Now NBA have it back. Oh, but they give it back at center. Only to have Michael Datillo take it back. Under a minute left in the 5-on-4. Pass across. And unable to get a stick on it was Caleb Kirkland. Now here's Datillo. Right point, his shot blocked. Here's Braylon Cox. Back in the NBA zone on the right wing side. Could not get around Caleb Kirkland. Kirkland pass ahead, knocked away from Trey Wick. Under 30 seconds left in the 5-on-4. Now Kirkland left wing side of the Mount Juliet zone. A shot stopped and held on to by Vickrey. 3:06 to go in the second. 25 seconds left on NBA's 5-on-4. Mount Juliet still up 3-1. Draw going to be to the right of Vickrey. Draw one by NBA, although Cooper Green had to start the rush from inside his own zone. Now here's Ethan Moore, left wing side of the Mount Juliet end. His shot blocked. Puck pass across. Lee Guy, a shot missed the net to the left. Penalty time against Mount Juliet is up. They're back at even strength as the puck is iced. No, it's waved off. Bobby Campos behind the NBA net. Put out in front, but it went to there were 5 players in a white sweater all gathering on that puck. Anthony Giampaolo was at the net, but Campos didn't see him, I think, as the shot at the other end is knocked down by the glove of Vickrey. And now the puck is iced by Mount Juliet. 2:10 to go in the second. They're up 3-1. Draw to the right of Vickrey. One by NBA. They tried to pass up top to Ed Hurlitzka. That was broken up. And now here is Jackson Blevins, left wing side of the NBA zone. A shot turned away by the leg pads of Becker. And we're going to have another penalty here. And this one's against NBA. Ed Herlitzka going to go to the box. I didn't see what the signal was. So Mount Juliet to the power play, up 3-1 with 1:57 to go in the second. Draws to the left of Aiden Becker. Won by MBA. Cooper Green with it at his own inboards. He's going to clear. Trying to get a stretch past the lead guy hanging out of the Mount Juliet blue line. Easton Krensky with a puck now for Mount Juliet inside his own zone. Here's Braylon Cox. Cox carries to center. Brings it back into the NBA zone. Drops it back. Carson Slocum. Sent down the wall. Now Cox battling at the inboards with Cooper Green. Slocum joins in. Now Cox behind the net. Passes out to the right point, but Krensky wasn't there. Krensky has to chase the puck back into his own zone. He has it. Passes ahead to Parker Triplett out at center. Triplett backhands it into the NBA zone. Minute left in the first. And now a minute left in Mount Juliet's power play. Puck sent back into the Bears zone. Braylon Cox with it. Now Easton Krensky brings it back into the NBA zone, but offside. Giampaolo stepped over the blue line before Krensky did. 46 seconds left of the power play. 43 seconds to go in the second. 3-1 Mount Juliet. Draw's going to be on the dot across from the Mount Juliet bench. Won by MBA, and they clear. Or clear it away from their blue line anyway. Here comes Carson Slocum, left wing side of the NBA zone. 30 seconds left of the period. Fires the puck past the net. Now 30 seconds left of the power play for the Bears. And then Giampaolo getting knocked down by Brandon Fremgen. Trey Wick, who scored NBA's only goal. Passing the puck up the near side, back into the Mount Juliet zone. Picked up by Krensky. Oh, he left it behind him in the right wing corner. Matt Moore chasing after it now. 10 seconds left in the power play for Mount Juliet. Time running out. Braylon Cox brings the puck to center. And brings it into the NBA zone. Oh, but time had run out. And he shoots it past the net. And Michael DiTillo yelling at him for it. But both teams go their separate ways after that. So Mount Juliet scored twice here in the second. Bobby Camos and Jackson Blevins, each scoring their first goal of the season, have the Bears up 3-1 in NBA at the end of 2. Now Juliet will have 3 seconds of power play time carrying over to the third. Aiden Becker still in goal for NBA. Korbin Vickrey still in goal for Mount Juliet. This third period, NBA will carry the puck towards me. Mount Juliet will carry it away from me. NBA win the draw to start the third. They bring it into the Mount Juliet zone but give it away. Penalty time against NBA is up. They're back at even strength now. Big battle for the puck on the right wing boards of the Mount Juliet zone. Now it's moving down the wall, but Easton Krensky grabs it, and he carries to center. Into the NBA zone, a shot went across the front of the net. Just 10 shots on goal for Mount Juliet. Puck put out in front. Wes Ray couldn't get a stick on it. 23 for MBA. But the Bears lead in the category that matters most, goals, 3-1. Matt Moore, left wing side of the Mount Juliet zone. Left the puck behind him as he was going to shoot. Cooper Green now top of the right circle. Taking a shot, score! Cooper Green fires the puck into the roof of the net. Bring NBA back within one. It's 3-2 Mount Juliet with 13:07 to go. Mount Juliet win the draw, send it towards the NBA zone. But here come the Bears. I should say here come the Bears. Now here come NBA. Alex Dubé, left wing side of the Mount Juliet zone. His shot blocked. Ryan Woods passing over to Jackson Blevins. But he gives it away. And then it was brought in offside by Trey Wick. Evan Smith was still in the zone when Wick took the puck off of Blevins and brought it back in. 12:35 to go, 3-2 Mount Juliet, drawing the dot across from the Mount Juliet bench. Puck out in front of the NBA net. Intercepted and brought back into the Mount Juliet zone. Cam Kinzer, a shot. Stopped and held on to by Korbin Vickrey. Draw to Vickrey's right. Won by NBA, and a shot from Cooper Green off the glove of Vickrey, past the net, and then Vickrey turns away a shot from below the left circle. That shot coming from Lee Guy. Now here's Matt Moore. Left half wall, passing up to the left point, Brandon Fremgen. Trying to go back down to Moore, but it's taken away. Wes Ray with it at center. Shoots it past the NBA net. It's behind the net. Now Cooper Green, right wing side of the Mount Juliet zone, sends the puck behind the net. And now Brandon Fremgen with it for NBA. Puck sent towards the net by Parker Triplett, knocked down by Cooper Green. So here's Green bringing the puck out to center for NBA. Into the Mount Juliet zone on the left wing side with a backhander that's knocked down by Vickrey, and he's got it covered. 10:59 to go, still 3-2 Mount Juliet. Green scoring the game's most recent goal. Draw is going to be to Vickrey's right. One by NBA, shot from the right point, or his left point blocked. Carson Slocum sending the puck past the NBA net, just inside the zone. Puck whipped around. Now the puck sent towards the Mount Juliet net from center, stopped and covered up by Korbin Vickrey. That was Ethan Moore with a little flick. 10:21 to go, still 3-2 Mount Juliet. Draws to the left of Vickrey. Here's Trace Graham trying to put it in front. That was blocked by Tyler Dubois. Puck behind the net again. Here is Ryan Woods. Woods passing ahead to Braylon Cox. Cox at center. Into the NBA zone. Fell over. Now Lee Guy in the Mount Juliet zone on the right wing side. Goes to the front of the net. Shot stopped by Vickrey. Krensky over to Carson Slocum. Slocum clears it out. It's back in the NBA zone. Ed Herlitzka chasing after it. Tried to clear, but it's not held in by Anthony Giampaolo. Now Braylon Cox's shot intercepted when it went to the front of the NBA net. And now a pass. Cam Kinzer trying to pass to Matt Moore. Misses Moore, and Moore tried to dive out and get a touch on it. Kinzer was just behind the red line when he sent it, so icing called against the Big Red. 9:32 to go, still 3-2 Mount Juliet. Draws to the right of Becker. NBA with it, trying to get it into the Mount Juliet zone. Easton Krensky with it inside the Mount Juliet zone across to Ryan Woods. Now it's back in the NBA end. Cooper Green. Green into the Mount Juliet zone on the left wing side. Now chasing the puck over to the right wing side. It's a shot turned away by Vickrey. Now back the other way, go Mount Juliet. Wes Ray in the NBA zone. Jackson Blevins a shot in the left circle, turned away by Aiden Becker. Just the 11th shot on goal for Mount Juliet. But they're up 3-2 with just under 9 minutes to go. Now here is Matt Moore Trey Wick in the Mount Juliet zone getting off a shot that stopped and covered up by Korbin Vickrey. 8:37 to go, 3-2 Mount Juliet. Draw's going to be to Vickrey's right. Big tie up for the puck on the left point. Now Lee Guy try to carry it below the goal line around the back of the net. It was taken away and cleared out by Anthony Giampaolo. Icing waved off because Michael Datillo couldn't keep it in the zone. Datillo catches up to it at the NBA end. Passes the puck up ice. Tyler Dubois sending it back into the NBA end. Anthony Giampaolo trying to carry it to the front of the NBA net. Matt Moore got on him. Puck held into the right point. Krensky moves past the defender, takes a shot that's deflected into the netting above the glass. 7:40 to go, still 3-2 Mount Juliet. Draws to the left of Becker. Now Juliet with it at center. Easton Krensky fires it into the NBA zone past the net. Anthony Giampaolo. Now Carson Slocum. Sending the puck deep in the NBA zone. Braylon Cox Passing up to the blue line, one-timer from Ryan Woods, turned away. Biden Becker, rebound. Oh, Becker diving across the front of the net. Was sent wide. Actually, no, he got a piece of it. And we're going to have coincidentals again as the whistle blows. Anthony Giampalo going into the box for Mount Juliet. And I think it's Brandon Fremgen going in for MBA. So coincidentals with 6:46 left. Mount Juliet up 3-2. It'll stay 5-on-5. Draw's going to be to Aiden Becker's left. Won by MBA and cleared. Caught up to by Ryan Woods, so no icing. Tried to clear. It was kept alive by Lucas Tarquin on the left wing boards. Now Woods takes it from him. Brings it out to center. Nope. I think it was just kept alive in the blue line by Lee Guy. Now Carson Slocum backhands the puck out. Here's Ed Herlitzka. And Easton Krensky's going to end up icing the puck from just inside his own blue line. 6:14 to go. Still 3-2 Mount Juliet. Draw to the left of Vickrey. Won by MBA, and Lee Guy couldn't get off a shot in time. Ryan Woods took the puck away, and he clears it, whipping it around the boards. Picked up by Ed Herlitzka. Passed ahead to Guy. Guy out at center. Gives it over to Trace Graham. Graham left wing side of the Mount Juliet zone. Drops it back for Guy. Guy trying to pass out up top to Matt Morrow as the puck taken away. And it's iced by the Bears. Draws to Vickrey's right. Won by MBA and a one-timer blocked. Now Easton Krinsky going back into the NBA zone. Taking off the puck as he was trying to go to the front of the net. Now here's Lee Guy. Back in the Mount Juliet zone for the slot, a shot over the net. We're going to have a penalty, though, against Mount Juliet. It's Easton Krensky going to the box. And that official's not giving out a signal, so I don't know what they called him for. So NBA back to the power play, down 3-2 with 5:25 to go. And who called the timeout? Well, I think it was Mount Juliet who called the timeout. So it's 3-2 Mount Juliet with 5:25 to go. NBA about to go on the power play. Shots on goal favoring the Big Red by quite the margin, 31-13. Timeout done. Everybody getting back to where they should be. Draw to Vickrey's right. One by the Big Red, Cooper Green passing over to the right point, Lee Guy. And a Guy just above the right circle, drops it back up top, Green. Across to the left point, Trace Graham moving down the wing to the circle. Try to pass, broken up by Ryan Woods. And then Woods steals it away from Green at the Mount Juliet blue line, carries it into the NBA zone. Turns around, shot, score! Ryan Woods with a massive shorthanded goal. Refused to give up when Green put the body against him. Turned around and fires it into the back of the net. 4-2 Mount Juliet with 5:03 to go. 90 left in the power play for NBA. Braylon Cox got back. I thought he was going to hand it off to Cox, but now Woods decided to shoot himself. Trace Graham dumping the puck back in the Mount Juliet zone. Woods tried to clear. That was blocked by Matt Moore. Woods again tried to clear, knocked down to the blue line by Lee Guy. Guy a shot, just missed the net to the left of Vickrey. Woods trying to clear, held into the right point, Guy. Passing down the wall, Matt Moore. Moore passing over to the bottom left circle, and Trace Graham fired it across the front of the net. Cam Kinzer was out in front, couldn't get the stick on it. Now Braylon Cox dumping the puck back into the NBA zone. Minute left of the power play for the Big Red. Cam Kinzer trying to pass to the slot. Trace Graham, that's broken up. Lee Guy, puck knocked off his stick. Here's Braylon Cox. Puck passed up top. Ryan Woods actually tried to intercept. It was held into the blue line by, I think, Herlitzka. Under 30 seconds left of the power play for NBA now as the puck is back in their zone. Here's Cooper Green through center. Green into the Mount Juliet zone, taking a shot that's over the net. Puck held into the left point, Alex Dubé passing over to Trace Graham, who decides to send it down low. Ryan Woods trying to clear. Graham keeping it alive in the left half wall. Moving into the circle. Behind the net, puts it out in front, or tried to put it out in front for Guy. Penalty time against Mount Juliet is up there back at even strength. Guy tried to put it in front. That was broken up. Easton Krensky out of the box. Now here's Braylon Cox, left wing side of the NBA zone. Shot, score! Braylon Cox with a goal that might have put the game away. Putting it into the back of the net from the left circle. And it's 5-2 Mount Juliet with 3:14 to go. So NBA are about to be given a huge blow in the GNASH Cup race here. While Mount Juliet are actually saving theirs right now. If they had lost tonight and then Wednesday night, they would have been knocked out of the GNASH Cup race. But by virtue of winning this game, they're going to stay alive until January. Which makes the GNASH Cup race a little more interesting, to be completely honest. Here's Trey Wick, right wing side of the Mount Juliet zone, a shot off the left leg pad of Vickrey. Easton Krensky. Now Wes Ray. Taking a shot, missed the net. To the right of Aiden Becker. Now Tyler Dubois. Ahead to Parker Triplett. And, I mean, Mount Juliet missing two of their big names, Kyle Alsaker and Blake Bristow, because of suspension. To put up a fight like this and look like they're going to get a win out of it, man, that is some spectacular effort, especially when you consider they have 6 players on their bench. No, 7 players, 6 skaters and 1 backup goalie in Brant Balls, as Vickrey turns a long-distance shot away from Michael DeTillo. Or turns away a long-distance shot from Michael DeTillo. And the puck ends up on the Mount Juliet bench. A minute 52 to go, 5-2. The Bears lead. Draw on the dot in front of the Mount Juliet bench. NBA win it, get it into the Mount Juliet zone. Now Ryan Woods with it for Mount Juliet. He'll clear. This will be an icing. Draws to the right of Vickrey. Now Juliet win it. Ryan Woods going to clear. Is this going to go for an icing? Yes. Cooper Green was starting to catch up to the puck, but they blow the whistle anyway. Draw's going to be to Vickrey's right again. One by Mount Juliet, cleared out by Bobby Camos. This could go for another icing. It will. 76 seconds left. 5-2 Mount Juliet. Draws to Vickrey's right. One by NBA. Brandon Fremgen fires it to the inboards. It's behind the net, swept around by Ryan Woods, and it's going to go down for another icing. Draw to the right of Vickrey. One by NBA. Final minute of the game now. Puck of the inboards behind the net. Krensky clears it out. No icing this time. Brendan Fremgen falls over. Here's Easton Krensky. Right point, his shot deflected. .30 seconds to go now. Here's Krensky. Krensky taking a shot. Misses the net. It's in the right wing corner of the NBA zone. 10 seconds left. NBA with the puck in the Mount Juliet zone. Bobby Camos clears, and the Mount Juliet Bears have their biggest win of the season, beating NBA 5-2. Took control of the game in the second and never let it go. What a game. What a game for Mount Juliet. No Alsaker, no Bristow, no Kyle Alsaker, because Alex played tonight. No Blake Bristow. They win. They're now 2-1 in phase 3 and move to wrong page, wrong Google sheet. They're now 4-5-1 in the GNASH Cup race. They'll still be alive in the GNASH Cup race when we return to the ice in January following the holiday break. And NBA are winless in their first 2 games of phase 3. Tied Rutherford on Wednesday night, lose tonight to Mount Juliet 5-2. So they're 0-1-1, and they are now 6-2-1 in the GNASH Cup standings. Still very much in the race, but tonight was a big blow. A big, big blow. The goals for MBA were scored by Trey Wick and Cooper Green. The goals for Mount Juliet were scored by Wes Ray, Bobby Camos. Jackson Blevins had what turned out to be the game winner, and the insurance goals were scored by Ryan Woods and Braylon Cox. Player of the game, though, is going to be Korbin Vickrey. He had 32 saves on 34 shots. He was really good really early, and his fantastic play in net spurred this MBA team on, or spurred this Mount Juliet team on to victory. So he is our player of the game for tonight, as Mount Juliet beat MBA 5-2. So the Tier 1 standings for Phase 3 look like this with that one game in the books. Brentwood leading at 2-0. Mount Juliet now at 2-1 behind them. Father Ryan, Ravenwood at 1-0. Father Ryan at 1-1. Rutherford 0-1. MBA now 0-1-1. Franklin 0-1. Pope Prep at 0-2. Tier 2, Centennial, USNBA, Nashville Christian, and the Outlaws all 1-0. Hendersonville 1-1. Nolensville, Ensworth, Lipscomb 0-1. Summit Page 0-1. Independence and Station Camp Liberty Creek both 0-1. Schedule for the rest of tonight. Let's take a look at the GNASH Cup standings real quick with that one game in the books. Brentwood leading at 7-1-1. Ravenwood 7-1. MBA now 6-2-1. Pope 1. Mount Juliet now 4-5 on wins. They split their regular season. Series. Pope won the first game. Mount Juliet won the second. Mount Juliet won last week 3-2. Pope beat them on October 26th by what final score? Because that could end up determining So Pope beat Mount – oh, wow. Okay, so Pope beat Mount Juliet 4-2 on October 26th. Mount Juliet won last Monday 3-2. So Mount Juliet scored 5 goals over those 2 games. Pope scored 6. So Pope have the tiebreaker on aggregate score over those 2 games, 6-5. And Franklin BGA are 1-5-2. Game that should be getting close to getting over, or being over on Rink B at Centennial. Independence against Centennial. Coming up at 6:35 here on Rink 2 in Bellevue, USNBA Nashville Christian taking on Summit Page. 6:45 on Rink B at Centennial, Pope Prep CPA GCA taking on the Rutherford Rampage. 7:40 on Rink A at Centennial, Franklin BGA against Father Ryan. Again, Franklin, they have to win that game. If it ends in a Father Ryan win or a tie, Franklin are out of the GNASH Cup race. 8:10 here on Rink 2 in Bellevue. Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on the Outlaws. 8:15 on Rink B at Centennial. Nolensville taking on Hendersonville. Then Wednesday night, the final game of play for GNASH hockey in the 2022 calendar year. 7:10 on Rink A at Centennial. Ravenwood taking on Mount Juliet-Green, Hill-Lebanon. We'll have that game for you. It's our final broadcast of the year. 7:05 pregame, 7:10 face-off. 8 o'clock here on Rink 2 in Bellevue. Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on Hendersonville Beach. 8:30 on Rink B at Centennial. Brentwood taking on Rutherford Rampage. And at 8:40 on Rink A at Centennial, USNBA Nashville Christian taking on Independence. So that is it for us this evening. What a game for Ray Balls and the Mount Juliet-Green Hill-Lebanon Bears as they beat MBA tonight 5-2. And they split the regular season series. Mount Juliet-Green Hill-Lebanon own the they don't own the head-to-head. They own the tiebreaker on aggregate score. They lost the first game 2-0. They win the second meeting 5-2. So they outscore MBA 5-4 over those 2 games. Wow. What a win for Ray Balls and Mount Juliet as they beat MBA tonight 5-2. I'm Michael Hackney. Thank you all so very much for listening. Good night from Bellevue. We'll talk to you Wednesday night for Ravenwood and Mount Juliet from Centennial.